The transforming table. Kingdom chicks with kingdom influence. Real conversations, real accountability, real transformation. The transforming table is where kingdom women gather for bold conversations that elevate perspective, strengthen faith, sharpen character, and awaken purpose. More than a conversation, it's a transformation. It steers where authentic dialogue meets biblical wisdom. Hearts are refined and lives are positioned for greater kingdom impact here. Authenticity is celebrated. Accountability fuels growth. And wisdom has a voice. Kingdom chicks with kingdom influence are in the room. Now it's your turn. Pull up a chair, take your seat, and join the conversation that could transform your life and expand your kingdom influence.
Where every week we come together to fuel your faith, sharpen your focus, and to shift you into the next level. And this morning, we're starting a new series. If you realize the last series, we talked about this turning point and how we were in the mid-year and we were dealing with getting it done. I don't know about you, but I've dedicated this year to getting it done. Whatever it is, we want you to get it done. We want you to come and to do what God has called you to do. We're here this morning for the whole month of September, at least for the next couple of weeks. We're going to be doing Testimony Tuesday. And somebody out there has a testimony that you want to come on Tuesday, Transformation Tidbits, and you want us to hear your story. You want us to hear your story so that you can motivate us to do what it is that the Father has called for us to do in this year. This morning, we're going to be starting out with our Tuesday Transformation Testimony Tuesday, her story for your motivation. And our special guest this morning to start out our Tuesday Transformation Testimony is none other than my big sister, part of my sisterhood, none other than Chef Marlene. And I'm going to bring her on the stage right now. And I hope I have her on the stage. I do have her on the stage. And this morning, we're going to come and we're going to hear what she has to say. She got it done in 2026. And this morning, she's here to tell the story of how she accomplished what it is that the Father has called for her to do in 2026. It's her story for your motivation on this morning. And I am so glad to have you aboard, sis. I'm excited to hear what the Father has to say through you today. I'm excited to hear the story that maybe some of us may not hear. But let me just tell you a little bit about this chick before she starts, because she's going to tell you about her stuff. She's going to tell you how she got it done. She's going to inspire, encourage, enlighten you, transform you, give you what you need this morning to go forward. But let me tell you a little bit from my viewpoint about this chick. She's been somebody who has inspired me throughout this year of getting it done. You know, God always places, and I believe that God always places that person that will speak life to you, that they don't even know that they're speaking it. Somebody who's always there. Somebody who, when you go back, I don't know about you, but when I go back and look at my chats now, I don't go back and relook at the program or the show because I don't like to hear myself talk. But I do go back to read the chat. And every time that she has dropped something in the chat on Tuesday Transformation or on the turning table or the transformation table or whatever I'm having, it has always been something to inspire me. Something, as I was talking to her last night, to bring tears to my eyes. And as I looked at the journey that she was doing, and she was getting things done, I was watching her and a couple of other people throughout this whole year. I watched the steps that they take. I watched the comments that they made. I watched and I listened to the voices of what they said. And this is someone who have made up her mind that God, by any means necessary, I'm going to accomplish what you want me to come in. I'm going to say this part and then I'm going to turn it over to her. Getting it done takes your mind, it takes your body, it takes your soul to come into alignment to execute the assignment that the Father has for you. A lot of times we think it's just checking a list to say, I did this, I did that. But if you're not in full alignment, if your yes is not there for the Father, then you're actually not really executing what He says. Getting it done means that I have to say yes. Yes, when I want to do it. Yes, when I don't want to do it. Yes, when my heart is broken. Yes, when I'm overwhelmed. It has to be a yes. And Chef Mara has been a beautiful an example of what it looks like to stay the assignment, to keep moving, to get it done. So today, my sis, I applaud you and say thank you for simply just being you. The kingdom chick with the kingdom influence. Your story, your journey, and your yes has made a difference to the listeners here on Tuesday Transformation Tidbits. And now I'm turning it over to you to do just what you do. Come on, let's clap our hands for Chef Mar on this morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, my sister. You know I love you. Good morning, and good morning, everyone. It is such a privilege and a blessing and a surprise to be at the table this morning. I just wanted to say thank you so very much for this opportunity to share my story. As you go through life, many people they see you, but they don't know you. And I feel like this is the season, and God has seasons for all of us. But I feel like this is my season. Not too long ago, you did a series about you talked about getting it done, and you said, okay, put in the chat if you're getting it done. My fingers couldn't go fast enough because at that particular time, God had blessed me to start writing a cookbook. And I didn't tell, how we have our inner circle, and sometimes not, you can't tell everybody everything. So I was like in the cut. And for years, many people said, when are you going to write a cookbook? When are you going to write a cookbook? And in my mind, I was like, nope, not doing that, not doing that, not doing that. But um, I was secretly doing the thing, trying to get it done. I just want to say for me, my passion and my love for people, um, and the love of serving. A lot of times we serve in many different ways, many different capacities, and we wear different hats. I do wear different hats, but one of the hats that I wore for a long while was a culinary hat. And that is my way of showing love to people by feeding them, serving them. And I went on this journey to do so. I just want to start by saying this journey did not just start with writing this book. This journey started from my grandmother. And I was a little child in a home where I would visit my grandmother time after time, and she lived in a house with a lot of saints. It was like almost like a community house, and they would be all in the kitchen, and they would cook, and the smells of the kitchen. And every time she would say, I would go to her house for the weekend. She would say, "Baby, what you want?" And I used to say, "Butterfish and blueberry pie." Butterfish.
Okay.
I was an old soul. Butterfish and blueberry pie, because we would go to the avenue and we would pick out the things. That time they had good food. You didn't have to worry about herbicides, pesticides, all the sides, not the side dishes, the sides that's going to kill your body. But we would do that. And from that, I cultivated a love for food. And then it got passed down to my mother, and my mother was a phenomenal cook. And I'm glad to say that I took on the entrepreneurial spirit from my mother, because my mother would, I remember the times where my mother would take her money and just do things for other people. I mean, stay up. She worked two jobs, but she would stay up preparing food for the nurses and all those things. So that spirit of entrepreneurship just flowed through me, and learning how to cook. And I would just watch them until it got to the place where she would just say, and I'm going to put this out here. So many people know me as Leanie. That's what she called me. She was like, "Okay, Leanie, here's stuff, and you can cook dinner." And I could cook a full course meal in my teenage years. So the journey started very, very, very young. And on my father's side, my uncle was a caterer. So it's in my DNA. The journey has been not easy, not easy. And I can think about the times where I went to culinary school. I didn't have a car. I was 50 years old when I started culinary school. And I thought, "Oh my gosh, that's old. That is just so old." And I was so scared. But because of my love for and passion for what I love to do, I'm not only, because you got people that cook and they say, "Oh, I can cook." And then you eat one meal one time, and then you go back and say, "Can you make this for me?" And then they make it for you, and then it don't taste like they made it the first time. That was not going to be my testimony. No, I needed to learn my craft. So I worked from 6 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, go to school at 5, get out at 10. I did not have a car, but I pushed through. I pushed through. I can remember the times waiting for transportation late at night by myself, tears running down my face, because I kept saying, "God, I need a car. I need a car. I can't keep doing this." But I knew I couldn't give up. And at the time, my father was very ill in another state. So that was on my mind. So in this journey, I knew that I had to push through, regardless of how tired, how weary I was. I had to push through. It was just like almost, I don't know. It was just a motivation, and God just letting me know this was what I was called. One of the things that I was called to do. So I want to say that even in writing this book called The Chickpea Chick, it has been my baby. I feel like I have given birth. I wrote enough. I'm not, this is not my first time being a published author. I wrote a poetry book, but that was in a time of getting everything out of me, and a time of survival. What I was going through, the turmoil, the ups, the down, the roller coaster, the merry-go-round, here we go, all of that. I had to get things out, and God let me do it through humor. He let me do it through watching people. But this right here has really propelled me. I do believe that this is my season. It was like I said, I was in the midst of writing a cookbook, but I told our sister, and I told another friend of mine, I feel like God is telling me to write a book about chickpeas. And I was like, who's gonna people don't even like chickpeas. When they think of it, they say hummus, and it's more than that. So um I told my sister, our sister, which I know she's probably watching, and she would say, you need to write the book. Now is the time to write the book. And full transparency here, I didn't want to say yes because I didn't want the pressure. I didn't want the pressure. I didn't want people saying, "Oh, are you finished? Are you almost finished? Are you almost finished? Are you almost finished?" So I started backpedaling and saying, "Nope, not doing that either. Not doing that." But it was like God had his hand in my back, pushing me like, write the book. And one day I was sitting here and I had to pivot. I had to stop writing the original book and start writing about chickpeas. And I know people say, "Oh my goodness, I don't like them." But I had to get it out because in this economy that we're living in, we're going to need something that sustains us, that is healthy for us, that doesn't require you to pay $20 for a chicken.
It's
Nothing
true.
against
It's
chicken,
true.
like, but I really knew that I had to get this done. And I want to say to everybody that's listening, you need more than yourself. I didn't do this by myself. I did. Of course, God began to download stuff and I just began to write, research, write. But you need people. You need people. You need the encouragement of others. And then I had to go back to my sister, and she really helped me push through and get this done. It took tears. I'm not even lying, tears. There were days where I just wanted to say, "I'm not doing this. That's No, I'm not," because it's hard. It's a lot of work. And sometimes when you come up against opposition, the enemy will say, "Oh, you're not supposed to be doing this." And I had to tell him, "Shut up, you can't talk to me because this is what I need to do." But I needed somebody to help push me along. So this was a season of not pressure, but the pressure was get it done and get it done now. Do it now. And I there were days where I was discouraged. There were days when I was tired. There was days that I felt like um I had no motivation. I was like, "I'm not doing this. I'm not writing another, I'm not reading it over and over again." So in your time, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever you're working on a book right now, whether you're working on getting healthier, whether you're working on losing weight, whether you're working on just becoming a better version of yourself, don't backpedal. If this is your time, get it done. Keep going. Keep going. There are days, like I said, you're not going to feel motivated. Others are going to try to make you doubt what you're doing, even in your circle. There are going to be those that um, there are always naysayers, but you got to shut out the naysayers and you have to hear God. If He is leading you to do it, if He's pushing you towards it, He's going to help you get through it. Don't let this season convince you that you're not making progress, because
Mhm.
every step is a step towards getting it done. It's a step towards moving forward. So keep moving your feet. Keep making those choices that will propel you into greatness. And I just want to say this, and I'm very private. And beginning of 2026, the Lord, I always ask God for my personal word. In our church, how you have your corporate words your pastor gives you for the house. Well, I always ask God for my own personal word. And my word was prepare for greater. And I said, prepare for greater, because I was always asking God, what is my next? I had this degree, I had this knowledge. I started out in a cafe in my home. I started out also going to people's home. Matter of fact, I went to your mother-in-law's home.
Mhm.
Yes, our sister Lorraine. And I would do stuff before this in
Mhm.
people's home as a personal chef. So let me just put that out there. I am a personal chef. I don't do mass catering, but I like the intimacy of it. I like the closeness. And she allowed me to go to her home, your in-laws at the time. And I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And I love the fact that I could prepare a meal for them, clean up, ring the bell, pack up, and go and let them have their moment. When I tell you, I get so excited about what God, this passion that God has given me. That's why I say, don't stop. Don't stop. Keep pushing, keep moving. Every day is not going to be a good day. And there's some days that are going to be good, but be patient with yourself and give yourself grace. Give yourself grace to do the thing that God has called you to do. The journey may not look real smooth. There are going to be valleys and there are going to be hills and there are going to be trials and there are going to be, let me tell you, putting this book together, there were times where my sister had to help me stay focused and not get detoured. Distractions will come. They will come. Family, work, issues, life happens. So I want to encourage everyone today, whatever it is that God has blessed you to do the thing. Do the thing. Keep pushing, keep believing, keep praying, keep showing up.
Amen. Awesome, says that awesome. That's all I can say with regards for that is really awesome. It's funny that you remember going to her house because that's how my mother-in-law to this very day identifies you as coming to your house, because whenever we speak, she was like, yeah, the young lady that came to the house who fed me and my husband and cleaned up. My mother-in-law is big on her kitchen, so cleaned up when she left. So that is so funny that you remember, because that's how she associates you every time we talk about you, whatever. She was like, yeah, I remember her because of that. So the impression that you left was a great impression. But I want to say what an awesome, and the people in the chat are lighting it up, an awesome and an encouraging testimony or story that you have given her, that you have given us on this morning. And I thank you for once again being the first one to come in. And come after you, but you were the first one to come in on Tuesday, on Testimony Tuesday, to share your testimony. And I want to say, you said a couple of things, and I'm going to close after that. But one of the things you said was that it was in your DNA. And when you said that, I want to encourage everybody that your purpose is always something that is in your DNA. Your
Wow.
purpose starts at the time in which you are born, and it begins to grow as you grow. We may not be able to identify it as a
Mhm.
child, but everything that we go through, purpose goes through too, because it's developing you and bringing you to that time until it blossoms up. So I thought that that was good that you said that. And to something else that you said that I think is very valuable and it speaks volume is that you got to learn your craft. Whatever it is, whatever that it is that God is calling us to get done in 2026, it requires something of us. We got to learn what we do. We got to study. We got to go after it. We got to accomplish it. And on the days that we need to push, you got to push and you got to press. You got to
Yes.
get down and you have to be the expert in what it is that you're saying that God has called you to do. So that was so yes. And then my last thing, and then I'm going to have you to speak a word into the lives of the people, and then we're going to close. But my last thing is going back to the yes. A lot of times that I'm saying getting it done, but getting it done once again, your it is waiting on your yes. So some of
Mhm.
us in this 2026, I keep saying getting it done, and they keep saying get what done. I'm trying to get it done, but it depends on your yes. It's your yes that's going to align with whatever God is calling you to do to accomplish the it. And if you have not given a total yes in your spirit, maybe you need to go back and have a conversation with God and say, God, yes, I'm giving you a yes. I'll do whatever it is you call me to do, whatever that it is for 2026. God, I say yes.
Mhm.
And that's important because the yes is what's going to carry you in the dark days and in the light days. So much you said on this morning that has been encouraging to me, the pivot, being pregnant with purpose. We say that because that sounds good, but that is heavy and it means a lot. So again, I say thank you this morning for coming out early in the morning and sharing your testimony. So I'm going to ask you to speak a word of encouragement to the people this morning, however God has given it to you. And then I'm going to close after that.
Again, I want to say thank you. And just as a word of encouragement, don't let what you see affect what you know.
Good.
And I'm saying that because that is something that our bishop always teaches us. Um, it might seem like you're not getting it done, but you don't have to do everything today. You just have to do something today.
Mhm.
Do something. If it's just one thing, do the thing. Prayer, ask God for direction, ask God for people. Even if you don't know how to do, because I'm not a techie person, but my sister, I'm just going to put it out there. Lorraine Walker Land, keep that name in your mind. She will help you get it done. And I just want to say, she has helped me get this done. And I want to say publicly that I appreciate her because you need people that are going to push you and help you. Be patient with yourself, give yourself grace, and get the journey started so you can get it finished, get it done.
Awesome, 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 awesome. And I want to ditto that. Sometimes you have hidden gems inside of you, and Lorraine in Walkerland is a
We'll
hidden
pull it
gem.
out.
So she will help you to
Yes.
get whatever it is get done in all phases. Publishing,
All phases.
typing it up, reread. So I put her out there for someone who's looking for someone to attach to help them in this journey. She's probably going to kill us later, but get with
Yes, she
her.
is.
We going to drop her information in the chat if you need it, but she is someone that will guide you along the way and be honest with will tell you. So I appreciate my sisterhood and I appreciate you on this morning. And I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you again to every kingdom
Thank
chick,
you.
to every kingdom dude that's on the line this morning. We thank you for this story of motivation on this morning. And I want to say to you, if you got a story that you want to tell, if you need to come on Testimony Tuesday, I still have one or two available slots. If I need to run into October for people who have a testimony, hit me up. Hit me up and let me know that God is doing something in me and I'm going to accomplish it in 2026. Next week, we're coming back, and next week, we're going to come back with another sister of mine's, Yvonne Burks, aka Bonnie. She's going to be coming next week, and she's going to tell her story for our motivation. You don't want to miss this month at all. And before we close, I want to go back to Chef Mar because she has something that's coming up this Saturday that she kind of needs to share with us. She thought she was going to get away and not talk about it, but she needs to share what's happening with us on this ad. So I'm going to say thank you again to every kingdom chick, every kingdom dude that's on the line. You got to go and get it done. Go and get it done. It is your time. Every step, every choice, every opportunity that comes your way is on assignment. And I want to encourage you on this morning, stretch out. Let your yes be yes and let God do what he needs to do to you. And most of all, be amazing. I'm going to stop so that she can tell you about her event that's coming. And yes, our sis has already dropped it in the chat. So she can tell you about the event that's going to happen on this Friday, on this Saturday. And then after she concludes, we are done for this morning on Testimony Tuesday. Back into the hands of my sis.
Well, thank you very much. I'm not going to hold you long. This coming Saturday, the what I have given birth to is this book called The Chickpea Chick. I am launching my book launch My sister, the phenomenal Lorraine Land that we spoke about, has placed it in the chat. I would love, if you're not busy, come out. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a food demonstration. You can get a signed autograph book. We're going to have food. It's going to be amazing. I am so excited. And I would love to see your faces in the place, 4960 Master Street, 12 to 3. I hope to see you there. And you can purchase this book on Amazon. God bless you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. We will be giving away a book on this morning from Chef Mars. So you don't know if your name is going to be called. You got to check back in later today to find out who the winner is. But we will be giving away one of her books. But if you need that book that we're going to give away, if you need her to sign it, you got to come out Saturday. Can't sign it for her. She got to sign it herself. You got to be in the place on Saturday. Until next Tuesday, be amazing, my kingdom family. Shalom.
Thank you for joining me for Tuesday. Transformation. Tidbits. Remember, transformation doesn't happen by accident. It happens one intentional decision at a time. Until next Tuesday. Keep stirring your faith. Keep sharpening your focus. Keep shifting into your next level. This is Patrice Thomas, your kingdom chick from Teardrop's Liquid Language of the Heart, reminding you that your best self is still becoming. Be encouraged, be transformed, be all God created you to be.